It's Zarek from Real Chiropractic Dynamics, and today I will be taking lots of measures to enunciate my words whenever I am speaking, because when I listen back to all the videos and podcasts that I've done before, I realize that I speak very quickly with my thick Northern Irish accent and actually don't move my lips when I speak. So today I will try and do that for you. Today I'm going through the Sigafoose procedure manual, and we're going to be talking a little bit about his x-ray report. I've read this thing cover to cover, but every now and again I'll dip into it and have a little look, and usually something will jump out at me, something that I then want to put in a report of findings, or it'll give you an extra way to handle this objection, and I think it will be able to help you too. He has a very direct style. He's very direct and to the point, which I like, and I think we need a little bit more of that, especially in student clinic. He can be a little bit confrontational at times. Some of the analogies maybe I would change a little bit. Some of the stuff in it I would fact check. But look, whenever it comes to these things and you're listening to these people, you don't have to take 100% of what's given to you. Come in, take what you like, leave what you don't. Repeat it a couple of times and then make it your own. And there's a few things in this that I would pick up, and then if I'm doing a report of findings, doing an x-ray report to the patient, I would put these things in there as well. So I'll not be looking at the camera, I'm going to be reading, excuse me, but this is the word for word x-ray report of Jim Sigafoose. This is looking at you from the front, and this is looking at the side. These are the bones in your neck. This is the jaw and this is the skull. Now, I'm going to draw a line on the bottom of one bone and on the top of another. Then I'm going to draw a line on the bottom of this one. You see here that the lines remain parallel, separated, and when you get down here, what happens? They're closed up at the back. I'll show you an example of what that does. Look at this spine. We can't do this too well, but you'll see what we mean. Now, I'm going to press down here, and do you see what it does to the nerve? Now, put your finger in there, in the foramen, and I'll close it gently on your finger. Do you feel the pressure? Let me show you what that does. Do you see this picture? That bone is coming out of alignment with the one above and the one below. The thing coming out here is a nerve root as it comes off the spinal cord. Do you see how thick that one is? See how thin and shriveled up this one is? Now, I'm going to ask you, do you think that that nerve in the middle here, the little one even, can do the same job as the one above it? But that still doesn't mean anything to you unless you know what the nervous system does. If we'll go over here to the nervous system chart, here's the brain, the spinal cord, running all the way down the spinal column, and you can see those little nerve roots that I was talking about coming off. Well, the purpose and the intent of the nervous system is to conduct life from the brain into the physical body. What happens if we take all the life out of your body? And then it says in brackets, be dead, right? Okay, well, what we're running into here is the fact that there is not 100% life getting from the brain into the physical body. Because here, where I have marked, you have nerve pressure, and this is an example. Now, let me have you understand this. In the process of us working with you, we have to have 100% life. Look, here's the brain with 100% life. And we command it down here with 100% life, and right at this point, the subluxation, we're cutting it off. Now, I don't know how much we're shutting off, but let's say we're taking 20% off. That leaves us with 80% life. Quick maths. Which means we are minus 20%. So, if we took 20% life away from you, what does that mean? It means 20% has died, right? So, how can you expect to feel good and be healthy when you're 20% dead? Now, as a result of that, you've got symptoms. That's what brought you in here, and logic's going to say, hey, if I've got symptoms, I'm sick. If I don't have symptoms, I'm well. Well, I'm going to prove you wrong. In fact, we don't get symptoms until after the damage is done. In other words, when I'm going hang up a picture, it literally says with his thick southern drawl, if I'm going hang up a picture here, and I hit my thumb, does the thumb hurt before I hit it or afterward? Yes, after, because there's damage. When do I get a toothache? Before or after the cavity? Now, did you ever have a toothache? You wake up in the morning and you've got a toothache and you say, gosh, I didn't know I had a cavity. So you look in there, you find a cavity up on your gum line at the back of your tooth. You say, good God, there it is. All right, you call up the dentist and he can't get you in right away the next day. So you wake up the next day and the toothache's gone. You see where this is going. Logic would say, if I have a symptom, I'm sick. If I don't have a symptom, I'm well. Isn't that what you're thinking all this time? All right, so suppose the toothache goes away. There's no symptoms, right? Is the cavity still there? You bet it's still there. And when we start working with you, your symptoms are going to start to go away. You'll feel better, maybe in one adjustment, maybe it'll take 10 adjustments. But when symptoms go, Mr. Logic is going to step in and say, why should I go down there when I feel all right? And then you're going to start giving us excuses. Oh, ain't no sense of me going in there. I'm feeling better. I'm doing better. Well, we could take a picture of you as soon as by picture I assume he means an x-ray, as soon as your symptoms leave, and you know what we'd find? The same thing. So if you'd come in here and left with the same thing you came in here with, then you may as well have not come in. Our relationship in that case means nothing at all. Not to me, and certainly not to you. I love how brutal he is. I'm going to be frank with you. Because he wasn't being frank before, right? Just go on down to your medical doctor. He can do it a lot quicker than I can. He can give you a shot in the butt or a purple pill and hide your symptoms. But when he hides your symptoms, you're just dying more comfortably. So, what do you want? It's up to you. It's not up to me. So here's the situation. We're after this thing and we're going to correct it. We're going to get the bone off the nerve, let the nerve heal with the life force from the brain back into the body, and the body will heal itself. How? Well, we're here in that 2.5 million cells per minute that you're losing, but you're replacing them. You're getting a blood supply every 15 days. Did you know that? You get a new heart every 4 months. You've got new internal organs every 6 months, a new muscular system every 8 months, a new physical body every year. Did you know that? Now, we've got 20% of the life being shut off as the body is recreating itself. What do you think it's creating? Normal cells or abnormal cells? How can you be anything but abnormal if you're created abnormally? And there again, if that's what you want, that's all right with me. Do you want abnormal cells or normal cells? And so, health then is the body recreating itself daily with normal tissue cells. And as a result, in a year's time, the potential of your body, is it going to be better or worse? Certainly, in my opinion, that's what you're after, isn't it? To clear this thing up, we need 3 things, okay? We need time. Time to get the bone off the nerve and let the nerve get open and get the life force back from the brain into that part of the body and let it be recreated normally. If you've gone to the dentist or the orthodontist, have you seen him take the pliers and straighten it all up in one visit? He puts braces on them and then he adjusts everything on there with time and repetition. He straightens our teeth, so we need repetition. What for? So we can continuously work on that bone so that it will tend to return to its normal relationship, thereby getting the pressure off the nerve. The next thing is effort. Guess who's responsible for that? You. We're not going to put a rope around your neck, drag you in here every time you're supposed to be adjusted. We're not going to call you every time you're supposed to be here. You are going to assume the responsibility of getting yourself healed up. Now, be in here when you're supposed to be, and if you can't do that, then don't start. All right? Now, do you know what intensive care is? I'm going to put you on intensive care for 2 months. You're going to come in here intensively. By definition. Thank you for the clarification, Jim. Now you're having a bit of trouble and I want you in here every day for 6 days. Then the following week, I want you to come in here 3 times a week and we'll bring you in here 3 times a week for 6 weeks. And we'll get in somewhere around 25 adjustments and then I'm going to re-x-ray you. Damn, there's some places you wouldn't be able to say that nowadays. And we'll get in somewhere between 25 adjustments and then re-x-ray you. The purpose of the re-x-ray, so I can put that film up next to this one and see what we've done. When I'm telling you that there's a barometer at the end of that period of time so you and I can see what we've done. What if it's 70% cleared up? Are you going to quit? No. What if it's 80% cleared up? Are you going to quit? No. Do you want to shoot for the maximum? Well, that's what you ought to do. Okay, so here's how we're going to set this thing up. Now, I'll fill out this calendar and the CA will come in and work out the best program for you. The reason that we do all the things that I've discussed, is there any reason that you couldn't do all the things that I've discussed with you? Because if there is, well, I want you to know, just don't start. I think he said like 4 or 5 times to get out or don't start. Abundance mentality. If you can't do it, don't start, because you're just wasting your time and we can't help you. But if you do what you need to do and you give us the opportunity to do what we need to do, then we're in good shape. Okay? Then let's get started. The patient is taken into the office and the examination. The doctor will review his case very briefly by repeating the things that he or she complained about, at which time doctor says, "Now, I've listened to your complaints. Please listen for a minute to me." Oh, he's brilliant. Our intent and purpose here in this chiropractic office is not to duplicate medicine. No. We're not going to treat your symptoms. We don't treat disease. We don't make a diagnosis. We don't rub anything on you. We don't take anything out of you, and we don't put anything on you. The purpose and intent of this office is to allow people a greater potential for healing. What we do is locate within your body an area of the nervous system that has a hard bone pressing on the nerve, and it degenerates and shrinks up. Then it cannot conduct maximum life force from the brain into the body. As a result, the body begins to break itself down, and this is what we call sickness. Now, if you look at this spine, you can see that if I turn one of these bones, as a result, the bone comes in and presses on the nerve. Now, look at this picture, the x-ray, and you'll see this bone is out of alignment with the one above and below. And if you see this nerve, look at the size of that nerve compared to the one below it, and look at the size of it when it comes out. Now, I'm going to ask you, do you think that this little shriveled up nerve can do the same job as the one above it? Well, let's see what we'll be looking for. The purpose of the nervous system is to carry life forces from the brain into the physical body so the body can function normally, so that it can coordinate one organ with another, and so it can heal itself and replace itself with normal tissue on a regular basis. Now, if you come in here simply to get symptomatic relief, I suggest you to go to your medical doctor, because he can do a much better job. But if you come in here to get greater potential and allow your body to heal itself so that you can come back to normal, then we're here to help you. But we do need your full cooperation. It will be difficult for us to do anything to help you. Again, your cooperation is essential, and without it, we may as well not get started. As long as you understand what it is we expect of you and what you can expect of us, there's no reason why we can't help you. Do you understand that? Fine, then come along with me. We're going to run an examination that will allow us to locate the nerve interference, which is caused by a bone being out of alignment, pressing on the nerve. All right, so that is pretty much word for word an x-ray report of Jim Sigafoose. Again, I reiterate, because chiropractors overthink too much and will start a dispute in the comment section. This was said by a different man in a different time. I would not say take that word for word. There's some stuff I would change. There's some stuff I would fact check. Some of it can be very, very direct, very in your face. I like that. I think we need more of that, especially in student clinic when people, they don't really, this guy's seeing 2,000 people a week. So it's much easier for him to have that abundance mentality, okay? But when people are in student clinic and they fall into that frame of, oh, I need, oh, please come in for your visit, please follow your care plan schedule. Maybe they could take a couple of things from this and be like, hey, if you have no intent in following the plan of care, we're in the business of getting results. So if you're not serious about getting these results and you don't want to go through the care plan, you may as well just not start. And even in student clinic now, that's what I say to my patients. So it's a great procedure manual. I've read it cover to cover, and every time I go through it, I get something else. And during this Corona nonsense. Basically, what Carey Sigafoose has decided to do to help the community is, in the true Jim Sigafoose spirit, he has decided to do box on the wall. So for all of the products that you see on Sigafoose Weekly, you can message Carey Sigafoose. I'm going to put the details in the description video of this podcast. And yeah, you can go on there, pick a product. You can pick the manual. I recommend that you would pick Sigafoose at Red Deer. Personally, it's my favorite product. And yeah, you can pay whatever you want. I personally think that Carey has lost his mind. I think that he's gone crazy. This is a terrible business decision, but this is an amazing opportunity for you to go and get those amazing products. So I really recommend that you go and check that out, and that you took one or two small points, some little golden nuggets from this short report of findings X-ray report. Thank you, and I'll be in touch soon. Stay hard.